welcome to sunny Melbourne. It is sunny, and guess what? Forgotten me sunnies. That's bad news. We came across a bite this morning. We thought we'd take that big bird across away from Perth and head over to sunny Melbourne. And we're here at the Triumph, new Triumph showroom. City Triumph is called in Melbourne. Absolutely stunning place. We're going to go and have a chat with Matt. He's the head honcho, and just get him to tell us a little bit about this fantastic showroom. Well, I actually managed to catch up with Matt in here. Very, very busy man. We're standing next to this fantastic Triumph Tiger XC. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But Matt, Triumph, City Triumph, Triumph City, which is it?
City Triumph.
City Triumph. When did this place open?
City Triumph opened in November of 2009. It's a culmination, it's a long project for us. Our sister company, Peter Stevens Imports, is Triumph Australia. And they felt that they needed a place to show other dealers around Australia, from the network of 45 Triumph dealers in the country, how it should be done properly, with good display of accessories, a full range of motorcycles on the floor, and a fantastic range of the Triumph genuine clothing as well.
Now, of course, you've got fantastic service facilities here as well.
We've got the largest motorcycle workshop in Australia upstairs. It's 20,000 square feet. Every technician is equipped with 2 benches. It's a lot of expense to the company, but it expedites and makes the process cheaper for owners. We've got over 30 staff employed up there, and if you look at most small motorcycle, single or twin franchise dealerships around the country, they're lucky to have 7 or 8 staff working. So 30 dedicated staff, technicians and administrative staff. It really gives us a top quality workshop.
Now, for sure. Now, Triumph, obviously, in the last 5 years has become a major player in the, let's say, age group of 35 plus.
That's correct. If we profile Triumph owners, it's usually a male of 35 years and older. We sell Daytonas and street triples to younger guys, and we sell Bonnies and Daytonas as well to ladies as well. But the majority of our customers would fall into that male 35 and over category. Okay,
now we're obviously going to be talking about the street triple very soon with somebody who's a bit of an expert on street triples. We'll have a chat with him shortly. But we're standing next to this rather wonderful XC, this Triumph XC. It's the new one that's come out. It's a new Tiger. Now, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, this is an evolution of the Tiger. The Tiger started out as a 955cc engine with the motor that was originally developed for the Daytonas and the Speed Triples in the late 90s. It used to come equipped with a 19-inch front wheel, but then in 2005 Triumph changed the design parameters of that bike. It went fully adjustable upside-down fork, so top quality suspension, adjustable for preload, compression and rebound dampening, 17-inch wheels, which are modern road bike sizes, radial mounted brake calipers, so it became more of a grand tourer to suit the Australian climate, where we might be travelling at high speeds, certainly in excess of 100 kilometres an hour on rough roads, secondary roads and things like that. It has an extra 2 inches of suspension travel to give you a more compliant ride. The Tiger 800 is a little bit of a different beast to that. This is our first entry into the dual sport or adventure riding marketplace. This is a serious bike. It's probably 25 to 30 kilos lighter than a 1050 Tiger. So it's a lot more manageable in difficult terrain where you're doing quite often feet down, or you might even be walking beside your bike to traverse a certain particularly difficult section. But it's fantastic. While the castings are actually different to the 675 Daytona and Street Triple, it is that basic engine design, but it has been stroked out to provide an increase in torque. We don't see much in the way of horsepower increase. It's still around 95 horsepower, which is very similar to the Street Triple, but we're up closer to the 80 Newton metres of torque, and that makes the bike fantastic to ride.
Yeah, it would be. One bike I'd also like to look at and have a chat with you about is the fantastic new Storm.
Oh, the Thunderbird Storm. Now, when I get a demo, I always get a black bike for my demos, and I try and make them blacker, and it's fantastic that Triumph's done that for me.
Well, what we'll do is we'll wander over, we'll have a little chat about this fantastic new machine from them. Tell me a little bit about this machine.
Well, they say the red ones are faster, but the black ones are blacker. And the Triumph have just nailed it with this bike. Gone are the chrome engine covers. We've got the wrinkle finish black. We've got black lower fork legs. So the shock springs are black. The handlebar risers are black. One of the great styling features of it too is that they've taken the headlights from the Rocket Roadster.
I see that.
Twin headlight setup, and they're blacked out and mounted as well.
Fantastic. They still have gone with this petrol tank speedometer. I personally don't like it because you're constantly
taking your eyes off the road,
looking down.
Dangerous.
To me, I would have thought maybe some speedos and some instruments up here, but then looking at it, I think that might distract from the fantastic handlebar setup. It absolutely looks beautiful. I mean, that does look nice.
They've just tried to keep the whole top front of the motorcycle as uncluttered as possible. You would be surprised, but once things start to get added to the top, it raises the overall height of the bike, and it makes it look different to the way it actually is. So keep everything low and out of sight.
And of course, the seating position is absolutely fantastic. The balance on this bike is amazing. I mean, it's going to be pretty similar to the standard Thunderbird because it's just got the 1700 kit in it. Basically, you buy it with that 1700 kit. Yeah, you can of course upgrade your Thunderbird to a 1700 as well.
That's right. It's about a $2,500 exercise. It's fantastic for value for money. The engine has to come out of the bike, and then we go through and put all the new parts. It's a wet sleeved engine, so we take the sleeves out, replace the sleeves, new pistons, all the crankshaft assembly comes up through the bottom with the conrods and the pistons mounted, then drop the head back on, change the camshafts.
Absolutely amazing. No, it is gorgeous, and in black, it does look pretty mean. It does look pretty mean. Now, this is obviously to battle against another make of motorcycle.
Well, there's no battle. It used to be at the top of the cruiser class in Australia. There was 5 of the other brand, different models locked in at the top of that class. We just leapfrogged them in the first year, and we probably had sales of this model probably in the region of 70 to 80% more than any single one of those particular models.
Now, of course, in that wonderful country, the fantastic US of A, where everything is, you know, absolutely bigger and better, Thunderbird, #1.
Top cruisers. Some of the top magazines in the United States, Cycle World is one of them, have nominated this as the best cruiser for the last 2 years.
So that means in America, they've rated Triumph over some other
local brand.
Some other local brand, That's
correct. Look, Triumph makes fantastic motorcycles. There is not one motorcycle in the range that I wouldn't own myself and spend my own money on. And the Thunderbird's just another example of the fantastic way that John Bloor runs the company. He gets the appropriate engineers into place, works on the handling as a top value, gets the motor sorted out and a tremendous motor package put together. And this is a point of difference. Can you name another cruiser that doesn't have a V configuration engine?
No, that's right. And the balance is absolutely amazing. On this bike, that is my favourite bike behind us here. I love the Bonneville. I think it's the best bike. Oh, good lad. I think it's one of the best bikes I've ever ridden. It's a no-brainer. You get on it and you just ride it. And this is about the same. This is a 1700. It's a big engine, twice the size of the little 865. A60. Twice the size. But it feels the same sort of weight. It's amazing. It's so well balanced.
Try and focus on getting the weight low in the chassis and then centralising them so it has as little effect on the way the motorcycle rides. And
I dare say, any girls out there, if you fancy, we know Harley Davidson do special colours for girls and things like that, but really, come and try and have a test ride on one of these bikes. They're absolutely brilliant. You will love it. The balance is superb. Any girl that's maybe slight would certainly be able to sit on this bike and ride it. And
if this was a little bit much for her, there's certainly other bikes in the range that would be appropriate.
That's good. Mate, thank you very, very much. Nice to have met you.
You're welcome.
Got to come down here. City Triumph. Get over to Melbourne. If you're in Perth or you're in Sydney, have a fly down and just come down here for a wander around and see if you can get them to take you upstairs and have a look at the workshops. Absolutely amazing. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked to the police commissioner, Carla Callahan, and we were talking to him about motorcyclists always doing charity rides. Now, we have a charity ride here today. We're here at Yahava Coffee Works in the Swan Valley at stupid o'clock in the morning to see off a group of riders that are going to be following this guy. His name's Stephen Andrews. Steve, how are you doing?
Fantastic, thanks. It's a beautiful morning here in the Swan Valley, and as you can see, we've got a lot of motorbike riders here to join us for our cause. So
now, what is the cause, mate?
Well, it's Black Dog Ride, and the mission of Black Dog Ride really is to raise awareness of depression and suicide prevention, and that's what we do. And by getting in a group and travelling around the country, there's rides taking place right across the country this morning. And we hope to start the conversation amongst people to talk about these subjects and hopefully get people to receive the help that they need.
Now, this has always been a bit of a contentious issue. You know, people who have a mental illness, it is an illness. It can be controlled by drugs and things.
It is. There are mental illnesses. Depression's one of them, and look, they don't know of a cure, but it certainly can be managed, and that can be simple as a change of diet and exercise for some people. For some people it requires intervention with medication and sometimes seeing a psychologist or a psychiatrist. It varies in its intensity, but and therefore the remedies, if you like, vary. But the secret is to just find out that that's what you've got and then get some help, and that's what we're trying to do.
Now, how many riders have you got disappearing on this ride today?
Well, across Australia we've got about 420 that were registered. I know here today we've probably got close to 100. We've got people that have probably woken up this morning and seen the sunshine, even though, as you said, it is stupid o'clock, and they've just decided to come for a ride and join the cause. And so we'll probably head out of here with about 100, and by the time we hit the paddock, as they call it, the Nullarbor, tomorrow, I think we'll have about 60 that are going to go across to Port Augusta and join up with the other states.
Fantastic. Now, all these guys have tried to raise money themselves as well for the cause?
Yeah, look, it's been amazing this year. Last year we raised $161,000.
Wow.
This year I just checked online and we're up to $195,000. And I suspect by the time we reach the end of this day, we'll probably tick over 200,000. I set a target of 250,000. I think we'll go close to that this year. But still plenty of time to donate on the Black Dog Ride website.
Now, of course, when they see this, the Black Dog Ride will have been over.
Yeah.
So we'll probably try and catch up with you in the next series to find out how it went.
Sure.
Judging by the success of this one, is there going to be another one next year?
Oh yeah, this is the third year we've done this. It's the fourth year of Black Dog Ride, my inaugural ride when I just rode around Australia on my own. This is what's sort of grown from that. And there'll be another ride next year. We're possibly the same, or we're looking at another concept we might introduce, but there'll be a ride. Fantastic.
Now, the patron for the Black Dog Ride is
our ambassador. I presume you're talking about is Angry Anderson.
Yeah.
And he's joining the ride. He's actually joining the Sydney ride, but because of commitments, he is joining on the first night in Tamworth. I thought it was quite appropriate as a musical town. So he's joining there on his little Harley Sportster, and I look forward to catching up with him when we all meet in Port Augusta.
Now, there's the thing. There's a guy who's got lots of success, lots of money. Still hit him though. Depression still hit him.
Oh yeah, look, as people say, depression doesn't have a postcode. It can affect anybody. It's very big with homeless people. It's just as big with millionaires. It affects everybody, and probably around 1 in 5 people will suffer from it at some time in their life.
Amazing.
So it's a big subject, and it's a subject that's been a little bit taboo in a sense to be talked about. So we're setting about to change that.
Well, look, if there's any way we can help, we will. Obviously, on the show, we'll give this a bit of airing, we'll give a bit of promotion to your cause and what have you. We want to help. We wouldn't mind even coming on the ride next year. We're putting it down there. If you're doing it next year, I think we might come along. We might get a crew with us, and we might come along and have a ride. So I know you've got to go off now and get all these reprobates together. I mean, would you actually let half of these ride a bike? I mean, look at them, for God's sake.
They all go behind me, so I don't really care what they're doing there. They're a pretty good bunch, I tell you, and they've all got a very big heart, and we have a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Well, excellent. Have a great ride. Have a great ride, guys. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
Well, these guys are just about to head off on the Black Dog Ride. There's some beautiful machines here. There's a Rocket 3 sitting over there, I can see. There's a Goldwing down there, another Rocket 3 down there. There's a Triumph. And I come across this. This is a 250, mate.
That it is.
This is Brad. Now, he's doing this ride on a 250, that's right?
Yep, the 2000 model ZZR.
And what, you're just going sort of halfway?
No, we're going all the way to Alice.
All the way to Alice.
All the way.
This is loaded to the hilt, mate.
Yep, that it is.
That's amazing. And you're quite passionate about the Black Dog Ride?
Very, very.
Yeah?
Yep.
You've had a few experiences yourself?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Two and a half, 3 years of, wouldn't leave me room. Just,
Really?
Yep.
That's unreal.
Yep.
So you know what this is all about?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Now, you're going with your brother, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, me and my brother are going on.
Yeah?
Yep.
And you're pretty right now. You've pulled yourself out a little bit of the problems you had.
Yeah, I'm on the upward bound thanks
Cool.
to family.
Yeah, so it's the family
Yep.
and friends have helped you out.
Yep.
Excellent. Well,
Yep.
that's fantastic to hear, mate. This looks an amazing machine. It is all geared up, ready to go. You've got the black dog in the back here. What's his name?
That's Winston.
Now, I believe actually Winston is he was originally the guy that gave Black Dog the name.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. Yeah. Yeah, he used to call it that he was followed by the black dog, and that's apparently where it all originated from.
And that's where it all started from.
Yep.
That's amazing. And they called the dog Winston, which is beautiful. Well, look, mate, be careful.
Yep.
Just, to give those little, the rocket threes and the and what are called the gold wings, don't leave them behind too fast, will you?
No.
I think you're going to give it a stick, aren't you?
Oh yeah, she's been re-geared for the journey. I've had to change the sprockets and.
But what about
things.
road trains and things like that? That must get a bit hairy overtaking road trains.
No, well, I've done quite a few long trips, Shark Bay and everything like that, and yeah, she holds up pretty well.
Fantastic, mate. Have a great trip. Have a safe trip, and it's glad to hear that you're on the up and everything's good. And what a great cause, and I hope you have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, matey. Cheers.
Thank you.
As I mentioned in an earlier episode of On Two Wheels, we're here at Dear Friends Restaurant in the Swan Valley, and we're here for a very, very special reason. That reason is this gentleman here, Stephen Kirk. We've seen him on our TV show a few times. He's done a few different things. He's been to India. You've also been for a ride with Charlie Borman somewhere in Africa, haven't you?
Yes, we have, yeah. We went from South Africa to Victoria Falls, 5,000 kilometres.
Fantastic. Now, you're off again. Where are you off to, mate?
Well, this is a big trip. This time we've decided to do a big trip, and this time I'm going from Perth in Scotland to Perth here in Australia, across by land.
Have you a rough estimate of how many Ks that is?
That's going to be around, I hope I'm right here, 22,000 kilometres, and that's going to take around 16 weeks to do that, and that's going to take us, all being good, 16 weeks, but I've got to allow for delays on the way.
Now, using the word us, is there anybody else going with you?
Not initially. I'm going on my own. I'm leaving from Scotland myself. I will be meeting some friends on the way, and I'm meeting a friend in Tehran in Iran. He's going to come up from Dubai, meet me there, and we're going to travel through Iran and Pakistan and into India together. And he'll head back home and I'll continue.
Now, some of these places you've just mentioned are not exactly the most stable places.
Iran's a bit of a worry at the moment because Iran there's some issues with Syria just now. Israel and Iran have fighting talk going on at the moment. And to be in Iran when the missiles start to fly would not be a very nice place to be. So I've got to look at plan C, plan D and plan E just in case. And if something does happen, I can just divert further north and go through into China. So I just need to arrange visas and things for those countries. But I'm being positive, I'm being hopeful that Iran will let me in.
Now, this is obviously the bike you're taking.
This is one of them. I've got two bikes, the same model, and I've got one from UK. Now that's actually kitted out to do the trip. It has more gear, more luggage, more protection and whatnot. This one is, I'm going to use this from Darwin in Australia, Darwin down to Perth. It just worked out easier doing things that way. The bike I've got in UK at the moment, it will take me all the way down through the Middle East, down to Singapore, and from Singapore I'll then fly that back. to UK, and that'll stay there until I next go back.
And this bike is a Triumph.
It's a Triumph Tiger. It's a Tiger 1050. It's not normally used for mammoth journeys across desert and whatnot. It's more of a sports bike, and most people would not take this kind of machine that distance. I like the bike, and I'm passionate about it, and this is one of the reasons why I've got two. But as I say, it's not perfect for long distance travel. But in this case, decision was made for me. I hummed and had about should I get another bike, a different bike, a off-road bike, and in the end, I just love this bike, so I thought, go with this one.
So we've got to look at Triumph somewhere on the line saying, well, we should help you out a bit.
I wish they would, actually. I wish Mr. Blue would. I wasn't hoping for a brand new bike, but a little help along the way would be great. Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Now, when you're in Perth in Scotland, you've got a bit of a send-off, I understand.
I've actually arranged to meet up with the mayor in Perth in Scotland, who's going to give us a civic reception and send us off. And also we're Glamis Castle, which is beside Perth, where the Queen spent a lot of her youth. We've got a big concert thing happening there, so I'm going to that. And we've also got the Highland Games on the very day that I set off from Perth in the actual green there. We're going to set off. There's a Highland Games thing going on, so I'm going to be on the stage for that. And so that should be quite a interesting day.
You have a wife. What does she think about all this?
My poor long-suffering wife, she's been very supportive actually. I've been very lucky, and I know I have, with a long journey of 16 weeks, 3.5 months, 16 weeks is a long time away from your family, and there's a whole host of issues there with being away from your wife and having to drink alcohol when you're away, and other ways to make up. I mean, no, seriously, she's been very supportive. She's been really good, and she knows I've been itching to do something like this, so she's been very supportive all the way. So much so, she's even organised me a cake.
So we're going to look forward to seeing some of your adventures on the new series of On Two Wheels, which is you're taking cameras along with you.
Yes, and I'll be filming as much as I can, as much as one person can do, but I do have some help on the way that we should be able to pick up some good footage, I hope.
Well, I'll make sure you've got a little diary cam there. It'd be nice to, because there's going to be some lonely moments, I should think.
There would be, and I think it's sometimes difficult to film a diary cam, especially when you've had a really bad day, you're not feeling well, and to try and record it, and you think, I don't want to film this, but there's that, and there'll be good times as well. So I hope they'll capture a lot of the essence of what the journey's about, and how exciting, disappointing, invigorating, scary, and all those kind of emotions that you pick up, and hopefully I can get this across on camera.
Mate, I take my hat off to you. It's a fantastic trip. I and probably the rest of the crew at On Two Wheels are absolutely so jealous. It's unbelievable. I think you'll have a fantastic time, and all I can say is be safe and just have a great journey. And we look forward to seeing the footage in the new year.
Great. Thanks very much, Keith. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're back here at Savage Suzuki. We've come back for another trip. We've come here to look at the V-Strom. Now, this has sort of got a place in my heart, this bike. It's one of the first bikes I owned when I came to Western Australia. I liked it, but it had a few problems. Now I'm here with Warwick, and he's going to tell me this is the brand new model of the V-Strom, and immediately I can see it looks a different bike. Is that right?
It is, mate. Yeah, it's completely different. More cosmetic changes than anything else. Still basically the same engine. They've revised the fuel injection and all that sort of stuff on it. So they do claim better fuel economy on it. They have reduced the fuel tank a little bit, but don't claim any touring range has been lost. And obviously the biggest thing, they've lost about 8 kilos on it.
Yeah, I've noticed the tank is a lot more scalloped. It's brought in a lot. It's a lot slimmer, isn't it?
It is a lot slimmer, yeah. So they have cut that back to 20 odd litres. But like I say, once again, what they've done with the mapping and that of it, they claim that the fuel range hasn't been lost at all. So
one of the biggest problems I had with my original V-Strom was helmet buffeting, severe helmet buffeting. Have they sort of managed to get rid of that?
They have. They've changed, obviously, the front fairing. As you can see, the screen is different. Yeah, it definitely has been an improvement from the old model, for sure.
And what other improvements have they done? I've noticed the seats are a lot more comfortable, and it's a little bit lower as well.
It is a little bit lower in the seat height. Yeah, they've obviously, the seat profile was changed as well. Like I say, basically it is the same sort of thing, but yeah, they just revised a lot of things on it. So it does ride. I've only had a short ride myself, been hard to get stock of this model, but it does ride a fair bit different than the old model.
Now, as you say, this is obviously this is a one-off at the moment here. You've only got the one.
We have, yeah.
Obviously, we can't get a demo of it and have a play with it yet, but certainly in our new series of On Two Wheels, we will be looking at this. I've been told they're actually very, very good as a touring bike. You can take them off-road, even when you put knobblies on. They're quite you get quite a lot of confidence out of them off-road as well.
You do, yeah, like I say, and losing that 8 kilos has definitely made that better again compared to the old model to take them off-road.
Because they were a little bit top-heavy, the old
ones.
They were,
yeah. Yep.
I know, because I dropped mine about 2 or 3 times, so I know I did quite well in wing mirrors and clutch levers, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But yeah, so and performance-wise, it's exactly the same, pretty much.
So yeah, ride them side by side, mate. There's no real change in the performance of them, no.
Mm-hmm.
No. But yeah, like I say, the biggest thing you do notice is that weight that they've lost, so which is definitely going to help you out off-road.
So it's got ABS on it?
It has, yes.
And is that standard?
It is standard. In this new generation one, the new shape, they only come in the ABS only. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got twin discs on the front?
Yep.
Single disc rear?
That's correct.
Well, as soon as you get some demos in, we will be knocking on your door.
Yep.
And hopefully Suzuki will probably hand this over to Corey to play with, because he's our on-road, off-road expert. He's the guy to put it through its paces.
That's
for
right.
You. He'll sign his life away on it probably. But great, mate. Thank you very much, Warwick.
No problems.
We'll be back here again in another episode to have a look at the Suzuki GX XR. Thank you.
No worries.
Mate.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to vote for us at aurorachannel.com.au. Make us the #1 show on Aurora Channel. And maybe we'll see you next week.